Yo, what's up? Welcome back to another episode of the SWUS. Reds, Rockies, and Coors Field in this one. But we'll go through every single game on the live show. That's at 4 o'clock p.m. Eastern time. If you're able to make it, we'd love to see you in the comments. Reds, Rockies, let's go.
Welcome to the SWUS. The SWUS. SWUS. Hey, get the SWUS.
All right, Cincinnati's on the road in Colorado, like I said. Rockies are short home dogs here, plus 115, plus 112, depending on your sports book. Total sitting at 11. On the mound for Cincinnati, we got Frankie Montas. He's pitching against Ty Blach for the Rockies. Let's take a quick look at the spreadsheet, and according to the model, we got to lean on the Rocks here. Through the first five, 2.74 to 3.76 Colorado. Final score, 4.97 to 5.49 Colorado again. So let's take a look at this game, and we'll start with the matchup for Ty Blach against the Reds offense. Ty Blach's been okay this year. He's got a 5.06 ERA, 135 whip, and a 4.44 expected FIP. I mean, that could be worse. I will say he's actually been really good at home. In his last 3 home starts, he's got a 2.41 ERA, a 1.12 whip, and a 3.86 expected FIP. So he's been pitching well at home in Coors Field, and this is serious improvement because from 2020 to 2023, he got rocked in his starts at Coors Field. You can see he had a 161 whip and a 5.13 expected FIP. In comparison to this year at Coors Field, it's a huge improvement. I will say it's probably not great for Ty Blach that he throws with his left hand because the Reds lineup has been pretty bad against right-handed pitching, but they've actually been producing against lefties. In the last 14 days against left-handed pitching, they're 10th in WRC+, 9th in OPS, 9th in WOBA. In the last 30 days, 13th, 14th, and 12th. So this Reds lineup hasn't been nearly as bad against lefties as they have against righties. The last 5 lefty starters to pitch against the Reds, they combined for a 5.19 ERA and a 1.73 whip. All 5 of these lefty starters allowed 3 or more runs in the game. So the Reds have really given lefty starters problems recently. So I know Ty Blach has some really nice looking numbers at Coors Field, but I can't say I have a ton of faith in him here. I'm sure the Reds are going to get a few runs across on him. On the other side, we got Frankie Montas against the Rockies offense. And Montas, man, Frankie's just fallen off a cliff. He started the season off with 2 strong starts. On the year, he's got a 4.60 ERA and a 1.40 whip, 5.15 expected FIP. If you isolate it to just his last 8 starts, so if you take out those 2 starts to start the season, he's got a 5.86 ERA, a 1.53 whip, and a 5.30 expected FIP. And pitching on the road has just been a disaster for Frankie Montas, which is honestly pretty on par with what he was doing with Oakland. Now, obviously, he was a lot better back then, but still, he always tended to struggle away from Oakland. Kind of the same story this year. He's made 4 road starts this year. He's got a 6.75 ERA, a 1.79 whip, and a 6.84 expected FIP. That is not great. Now, I will say Frankie Montas does have nice-looking numbers against righty bats. You can see against lefty bats, 380 WOBA, 160 whip. Against righty bats, 284 WOBA, and a 118 whip. So he has pitched better against righty bats. But here's the thing. I mean, if you look at the home-away splits there, he struggles against righty bats on the road. You can see 163 against righty bats at home, the WOBA, 408 on the road. And look at all these numbers, just so much worse on the road. So he's got nice numbers against righty bats, but if those splits don't apply it to his road starts, then who cares, honestly? I will say the Rockies have cooled down against righties. In the last 14 days, they're 28th in WRC+, 19th in OPS, 19th in WOBA. But here's the thing with that. There's kind of 2 games sitting here that are skewing the numbers a bit for the Rockies bats. Gavin Stone and Yamamoto both blanked the Rockies. They were both on the road in LA. The last 8 righty starters to take a trip to Coors Field and pitch on the road against the Rockies, 38 1/3 innings pitched, a 6.81 ERA and a 1.93 whip. So they've had no problem smacking righty starters around when they're at home in Coors. All right, so I'm going to break down the bullpen matchup here, but I'm actually recording this before the Reds-Rocky game ends on Monday night. So I'm going to clip it, and then I'll insert the usage after because we want to know who's playing, who's available. But as far as the bullpen matchup, it's all Reds. In the last 14 days, the Reds have top 5, top 10 bullpen. You can see here 3rd, 9th, and 6th. Colorado, a bottom 5 bullpen. Now, I will say the fact that this game's in Coors Field is significant because you can see here on the season, the Reds bullpen hasn't been nearly as good on the road. 22nd in ERA, 18th in WOBA, 13th in expected FIP on the road. That being said, the Rockies bullpen, it's pretty bad overall. It's been pretty bad at home as well. So the advantage still goes to Cincinnati in the late innings. And then when you bring up the offensive numbers in the late innings, last 14 days, advantage Reds. 16th in WRC+, 16th in OPS, 13th in WOBA. Rockies are a bottom 5 lineup in the last, and that's in innings 6+. So late innings definitely goes advantage Reds.
So I was going to wait until this game was over to look at the usage, but it's 13-3 Cincinnati in the 9th inning. So I think it's pretty safe to assume neither of these teams are going to be using high leverage arms, so everyone should be available. I'm thinking over here. I didn't bet this one yet. The Reds should get the block, even though he's been pretty good. I can't see Frankie Montas pitching well in Coors Field. He's been so bad. He's been so bad on the road. This is one of the hardest ballparks to pitch in. The Rockies are coming off double-digit loss. So I like the Rockies bats to bounce back. But there's just, I can't put a ton of faith in blocks. So it'll be over, or maybe Rockies team total over. I said I was leaning that way on the live show, didn't actually bet it. So maybe I pull the trigger on Rockies team total over in this one. That's where I'm leaning. You know the spiel. Live show, 4 p.m. Eastern time. Sauce Network Plus on the website, blah, blah, blah. All that. Talk to you guys later.